Let's start with the performance of your goaltender tonight, and particularly in the first period.
Yeah, what's it, 2 weeks since he's played? That's what Casey does. He's done that in his career where he's had inactivity. So, yeah, he was solid tonight for us.
How about for the team after maybe not the best start, responding well in the second and third? What did you make of the overall performance?
Yeah, they had some shots, and we didn't really have the puck the first 10 minutes. And then we started going through guys, and our neutral was better. For some reason, we're backing up. And then, they had a couple of good chances. I don't think it was, I don't look at the shot clock like you guys do. I look at chances. And they had the puck a lot. But I thought we were okay on the fact early on sleeping a little bit. But I thought the second and the third, we played our game. We had the day off yesterday. Maybe that was something. I don't know.
Felt like that second period was one of your better. You talk about scoring chances. Hard to count one. It felt like in that period. How proud of you or the group to sticking to something? Like, what was it that they stuck to in that second period?
Well, it was our neutral side. We were backing up for something in the first, and and we were coming off. We were guessing, like when you go at a guy, he passes, you go this way instead of like marking your guy going through guys. Sometimes we get in that habit, and when we started doing that, being a little sticky on people, and then obviously gap it up. Not so much the defense as our forwards. We were backing up, and I hate when our forwards backward skate, and I didn't see backward skating in the second and third. And that's the difference, how you control the game, at least get back in the game.
Even before they can get to the neutral zone, I felt like your defensemen were just like smart pinches. Especially even third period, you guys are up by 2. And they're still pinching to keep the puck in. Like, how important is it to stay aggressive? Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, 100%. You don't want to prevent defense. Obviously you got to be responsible. Your F3 better be above. Everybody's got to be above. Then your D can pinch, and that's what I saw, especially in the second and third.
And you get a goal from Nils Hoglander again. What's been working so well with him? Having you as a coach or whatever, the way you're playing in the lineup, it just seems like this is the best we've seen him in the NHL.
Yeah, I thought he had a lot of energy. He gave that line energy. And you know what? They were a hard matchup against, obviously, not 97. Their team's hell of a hockey player. And I thought he held his own. That was a good step for Hoggy, playing in his own end against their top line. So if Hoggy can chip at that, it's, I don't know what he got, 15, 16 minutes, but he played some D-zone stuff where he had to, you got to defend. I thought he did a hell of a job.
Just one penalty against tonight. You must be pretty happy with the discipline and all that.
Yeah, the stick penalties. We last couple of games we were keeping our sticks down. We were getting a little, last 4 or 5 games, a lot of hooking and stuff, and I think that we've got that out of our game. And you check it with your feet. It's when you're getting those stick penalties, you're checking with your stick. So, the discipline was good tonight.
The Bluger line, obviously, has been playing well, but what is it in particular about those three that seems to be clicking right now?
I think hash mark down is what at their best. I think Dakota's, the way he's been playing for us, where he's getting a lot of loose pucks, and then Garland's feeding off him, and hash mark down, and then Teddy plays that safety valve for us. I think it's a chemistry line where they're just hash mark down. They're really good. That's where they get a lot of their chances. Is hash marked down. Very rarely in the last 10 games, I don't see, when we do those game reviews, very rarely that line's on from in our D zone making mistakes. They're pretty mistake free. So that's because they play the hash marked down game, which is important for our team.
With this group in recent years, if you've gone through a lull, over a 10-game stretch, they might get 2 wins or 1-1. The fact that you've managed to get 5 of these,
right.
What does that say? That even when you're not playing the way you'd like them to play consistently, they're still getting some results.
Yeah, you're going to go through. You're right. Those lulls and the inconsistencies, and if you can stay away those 3, 4, 5, 6 game losing streaks, and so far we haven't done. We're not into that mode. It builds confidence because, when you're tired or you're not playing well, sometimes you can hang in there. And what I was proud about this team is when you go after them. Obviously, I went after them. I didn't like some of the stuff the last month. They've always responded. I'm not saying because I go after them they respond. It's just I think it's because of them. They take it to heart. We didn't play. We were okay against Jersey, but we gave up too many grade A's early on, and then they responded. Obviously the start was a little tough, but I thought after that we just managed the game. It's nice to be behind the bench and just get guys out there knowing we're going to manage the game. It was a nice effort.
You're in the midst of a grind portion of your schedule
Yeah.
here. You're going to be playing every other night here, even though it's at home, and then you've got a real tough road trip. How do you continue to manage and get through that right now? Because there's no end in sight.
Yeah, I think you rely on the science part of it, but also your gut feeling. I just felt after that Jersey game, I think the day off won us this game. Like, we were supposed to practice yesterday, and I just had a gut feel. And I thought it was. I thought the guys needed it, and they responded. So those are the sort of calls of the coach. You're like, oh, thank God I made the right call, because they needed that day off.
You talked this morning about this being impressed with their self-awareness and accountability. So in that balance in coaching by feel, what's next? How do you string some wins together? What's the balance in challenging the group and then pushing that accountability?
Well, I think the hard part is that's a hard-fought game. That team's won 4 or 5 in a row. We have to play a certain style, and they're a hot team. We got to do the same thing. You got to be above a guy. We got to be smart pinches. You got to clear the net. Like, those are hard things to do. And as much as I love the game tonight, we got to wipe it clean and come to work tomorrow and be ready for Carolina. Tough game. So it's hard to be consistent. It's really hard to do those little things every time. I think it's probably one of the best I've seen our team change, too. I loved our changes tonight. I thought the shifts were 30, 35. I didn't see an extended set. I think that helped us win the game. So, but once again, it's hard to do, right? It's you gotta do it again.
Is that getting that first 20 minutes up to the level that we saw the last 40? Is that continuing to be a mindset thing? Like, how do you as a coach draw that out of them when, everyone seems to be bought in and on that page wanting it?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I coach, sometimes it's on me. I got to change the routine, maybe something to help the team maybe start on time. We didn't start on time, but sometimes it's on me. I got to maybe switch it up, switch some practice drills, or maybe some meeting times, less meetings. So sometimes, us coaches have to look at, what do I do? What can I do as a coach to help the team start a little quicker? So we'll look at that too.
Rick, you talked about the defenseman pinching. Is that their call, or is there input from the coaching staff during the course of the game in terms of how aggressive you want them to be?
Yeah, it's their call if the scenario is there. If we have people in spots that we should have them, I want us to be aggressive. But obviously, sometimes we're the D will go in and not checking to see if our man's there, then it gets irresponsible. But also, too, our forwards got to be there for the defense. So it's kind of I don't say we're up 2-0 in 5 minutes. Maybe some coaches, I don't, is nobody pinches. I don't believe in that, because I think you have to stay with your system. But you better be 100% sure, or at least, high percentages before you pinch, for sure.
Rick, it seemed like maybe it wasn't your team's cleanest night in terms of breaking the puck out, a lot of icings, pucks that weren't always getting out yet. When it came to true grade A chances, it didn't seem like you guys allowed a lot, and probably had the greater share of them on the night as a whole. What do you think that says about your team?
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought we had a ton of chances, grade A's. Yeah, I think sometimes it's the breakouts. Sometimes it's. And I don't hate to say it, it's individual sometimes. A couple of guys have chances to make a play, and whether they iced it. I think we iced it a couple times where we should have made the play. But overall, I thought it wasn't too bad. But you're right. I think sometimes when part of your game is, whether you struggle or you don't, maybe sometimes you don't see it. I thought the structure of not giving them a lot in the middle of the ice. Yeah, they had some wraparounds. They had some chances. Don't get me wrong. Casey was awesome. But I thought for the most part, the grade A's weren't really egregious like against New Jersey. I thought we really tightened that up.
How about shutting down their top players too, especially, and the job that the Miller line did kind of in that matchup role tonight?
Yeah, I thought that line did a nice job. He's a hell of a player. We spent a little time on pre-scout. He hides around, and then all of a sudden he's by the net. So I thought the D with Millsy, and I think PD's line had a couple of shifts with him. A committee did a nice job of shutting him down.
Talking about defenseman pinching and the forwards needing to read that situation as well. Is the Bluger goal a good example of that? I think it was Juleson that pinches in, but Joshua and Garland are both back, and it turns into a scoring chance at a goal for you.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's really if you're connected. it's a fun way to play. I mean, a lot of teams play that, they pinch. I mean, we've played teams that are a heavy pinching team, and when you can't get the puck out, it demoralizes your team, when you're just, keeping the puck up, keeping the puck in. So I think, that was a big one for us, that second goal. You go 1-0 going into anything can happen, so getting that second goal really helped us.